This is my review of the Razer Orochi V2 mobile wireless gaming mouse. I've got it in the white edition here and the standard black version. I believe it does come in a few other colours, it's pink, and then they did do some limited edition versions of the mouse. One of the kind of main features of this mouse is, I say feature, this kind of top shell. Originally, I think when they were marketing it that you could buy replacement shells. It's held on by magnets, or a magnet. Yeah, there's a couple of magnets there at the bottom, and you can just lift it up to take the top shell off, making it easy to replace the battery inside. You can either use a AAA battery or AA battery, either or. Now, yeah, you can obviously only use one at a time for those. But yeah, so going back to the shell, I've got the black one here and the white one. You can take off the shells, and they are interchangeable. Although I would say that initial marketing for it made it look like you could buy more shells and swap them. Unfortunately, I didn't really see too much of them online. Occasionally I'd see them on some websites and stuff, and some marketing. I think they did some promotions with Pokemon, but I don't know if that was only in China or only in Japan, Asia, so we didn't really get it over here in the West. It'd be great if they would do more. I can't imagine it would be expensive to manufacture these things, just a piece of polycarbonate, a bit of plastic. But yeah, I've got a couple of these, so I can swap them around, and I think this one looks quite nice. But that's just an aesthetic thing, really. Focusing on the actual mouse itself, I'm a big fan of this mouse. For the size, it's a small mouse without being uncomfortable in the hand. Sometimes you can buy like the kind of laptop mice for traveling that are really tiny. They don't feel comfortable. They're difficult to use. But this one, it kind of fits in the fingers. I mean, finger grip, I guess you could call it if you play gaming. You can see as I hold it there, it's not big enough to fill my whole hand, and it's but I grip it with my fingers, and because it's so light, believe me, this thing is so light. It's so easy to flick back and forth if you're playing FPS games or other video games on your PC. This is a great mouse just to be able to move it around a desk without feeling like you're lugging around a piece of metal or a piece of plastic, something heavy. So personally, I'm a big fan of how this feels for when I'm gaming. And Razer being Razer, they're really well known and well respected for their optical sensors that they use. So it's nice that you've got that kind of reliability in that department. Click wise, the travel's quite short as well, so I'll just hold it up to the microphone so you can hear that. So there's not much squish to that click. It's quite a short press, but it feels like when you're pushing down, you are pushing down on the switch itself, and there's no kind of travel time or anything like that. So again, when you're gaming, that's good that you've got the kind of instant feedback, instant click. But obviously, productivity wise, it's just a nice mouse, so it is just nice to use day to day when you're using your computer for general work tasks and stuff like that. Anyway, it does have these two side buttons. Obviously, I think standard forward and back. If you're using like internet browser or something like that, go forward and back on pages, and they are reprogrammable, but it's only on the one side here, on the left side. So although technically I think you could call this an ambidextrous mouse from the shape, the buttons there are only on one side. Yeah, the scroll wheel also feels quite nice. It's very, I mean, there's not too much to say about it. It's just a scroll wheel really, but it feels nice. It feels good to click as well. Pretty happy with that. And apart from that, I'm not sure if there's too much other to cover in that department. Now obviously there's no USB-C, you can't recharge it because again the batteries not rechargeable, the standard batteries that you use. You can buy rechargeable batteries, but you would have to charge those out separately. And yeah, on the marketing side, now I think this is the one I bought first, and this is I bought quite soon after it came out and was released. And the marketing on the side talks about the weight and the weight with the battery. So it says under 60 grams, ultra lightweight design, excluding the battery weight. So that's 60 grams without the battery inside. I'm not sure if it actually says how much it is with the battery, but on the newer marketing it does break down the weight more. So if you have an alkaline AA battery, the weight will go up to 81 grams. But if you're using a lithium AA battery, the weight will be 73 grams. So, not that I'm using it now, and originally when I got this first one, it did come with a lithium battery. So if you really are trying to save down on that weight, lithium is the one to go for. I think they do have better battery life as well, so less weight. And obviously the lightest you can get is if you get a AAA lithium battery, it will weigh as little as 66 grams. Which is pretty impressive, and it says the estimated battery life for a AAA lithium is 380 hours? Oh no, sorry, that's Bluetooth. 380 hours Bluetooth, and if you're using the hyperspeed wireless is 170. So longer battery life if you're using the Bluetooth, and less time if you're using the dongle. This is the dongle here, so it's a 2.4 gigahertz wireless dongle, pretty standard for mice really. This is great if you want the best connection, basically. It will poll quicker to the mouse, in between the mouse and the PC. It's better and more reliable than Bluetooth. So if you are gaming, this is the thing that you want to be using. But everything else, Bluetooth is fine. What I do, I actually have a laptop, so I'll have it on Bluetooth for the laptop, and then I'll have this USB just plugged into my desktop. And so on the bottom of the mouse, you've got a switch. Left is for the 2.4 gigahertz. Right is for the Bluetooth, and then in the middle you've got a little off there. But yeah, that's about it, I believe. So yeah, some small marketing differences, and as they changed them over the years, they stopped including the lithium battery, which is a shame. But the mouse itself seems identical. Going back to the weight, so the most it will weigh is up to 81 grams with an alkaline AA, and the lightest it will weigh is 66 grams with a lithium AAA. But yeah, I think that's kind of covered everything really. Obviously the dongle itself will fit inside the mouse itself, so if you are taking it with you, you don't lose that, so that's a nice feature. And yeah, I think that's about it. If you do have any questions, or if you have any other recommendations or opinions that you'd like to give about mice or anything like that, yeah, do let me know. Put a comment below and I'll try and get back to you. Thanks a lot.